Hi there, Christian Henson here again with my third of my slightly obsessive little triptych of quick tips about sidechains. If you recall, a sidechain, basically get a modulator, signal goes in, signal goes out. Usually the modulator reacts to what the signal's doing, but if you put a reference signal in on the side chain, it then uses that as the reference point to do what it needs to do to the signal. So when a minority of people who are in a country that has the biggest nuclear arsenal in the world get tricked into voting a malignant narcissistic personality disorder sufferer, or someone who's making us all suffer, to the head of that country with keys to that nuclear arsenal, I've been inclined, for the sake of my children, just to keep an eye on the situation. So this is a way of using a sidechain to kind of let you keep an eye on things and work out when it's possibly time to grab your children and to pootle off to the Highlands to get away from an impending nuclear attack. So what we need for this is a trusty radio and a breakout cable and a sidechain. Let's get going. Okay, so let's get back to that track we were working on, the other quick tip. So what I've got is a test oscillator that is going to be our carrier for the noise gate. The noise gate in this version of Logic doesn't have a ducking feature, so you have to put it through two side chains in order to get it to work. You'll notice that the music is all bussing through bus 2, which doesn't have an output, and then I've got on this track a test oscillator, and it's just a sine wave. I'm not going to play it to you. Trust me, you can see it's there. It'll just blow your ears off. And then what I've got is a compressor. So at the moment, the compressor is doing nothing, and it's not because the test oscillator isn't going through it. It's because it's referencing sidechain bus 2, which, if you recall, is where all the music comes from. So when I basically just turn everything up to the absolute max, threshold down, ratio up, release as slow as possible, attack as fast as possible. So basically, the minute the music comes in, it just smashes the sine wave. There we go. And I'm going to do 2 of those compressors, so we have another look at those. So it really absolutely obliterates it, and the makeup, the time it takes to come back up is that much longer. So let's have a look here. Okay, and you'll see it takes a while to come up. And then what we've got here is an auxiliary track, which is where we put the radio in, and we've got a gate. So if we have a look at that, and basically it's set to just below 6, it's just minus 6 dB, just below 0. So it really doesn't want to open until it's absolutely ready. I've put the attack to full, otherwise you get a stuttering as the sine wave is recovering. So let's just have a look at it working before we actually put it to the test. So this means it's open, activity open, and that is because the sine wave is running, the test oscillator. And the minute we start, off it goes, and then it waits, and there you go, there it comes on. So let's plug the radio in, and you'll see as I start and stop, there'll be no radio playing whilst I'm working, and as I start and stop, the radio doesn't come in straight away, so it's not going the minute you press stop, so it gives you a bit of time. But if you just want to stop and check up on how Mr. Trumpy Pants is doing, then you just stop and wait for a sec. So let's plug her in.
Don't ring her mum or dad. I received a text at 1:15 in the morning asking if they could go downstairs. Media sites are also going to be blocked on the school's intranet. conversation about it. I don't know. 85058, again, it's where you can get in touch. 055.
So sidechain radio breakout cable enables me to work whilst keeping an eye on international events should there be an imminent nuclear attack. Thanks so much for listening to my slightly obsessive quick tips about the sidechain. I'll be sure to make sure it's about something different next time. Thanks. Bye.